What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. And unless you've been living under a rock, you know, I guess that's not entirely true, right? But you know about the toys that made us and the movies that made us. The big, fun, nostalgic look at movies and toys for geeks like me. Probably geeks like most of you. The toys that made us has been wonderful. It's been one of my favorite things that Netflix is doing, right up there with Stranger Things. So yeah, that makes me a geek. Movies That Made Us has had one season, and it was great as well. Now, we have recently had the holiday movies that made us. It's kind of a half a season. Your normal seasons of the blank that made us, whatever it is 4 episodes. This was 2 episodes. And it's funny because I think that 2 of the films that could have been perfect for the holiday films that made us were already in season 1 of the movies that made us. And that was Die Hard and Home Alone. Both of those had an episode in season 1 of the movies that made us. So here we are, season 1 of the holiday movies that made us, and the movies they focused on were Elf and A Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, one of these episodes I really, really liked a lot, and the other episode I just kind of liked. And it kind of aligns with the movies, because one of the movies I really like a lot, the other movie I just kind of like. Elf. Elf is a movie that I love. It's definitely one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies, and it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. And as we've discussed before, I'm a sucker for Christmas movies. And Will Ferrell's Elf is definitely one of my perennial favorites. It's got just a perfect blend of comedy, some of it hard-hitting comedy, commentary about a son's relationship with his father, not just Will Ferrell's relationship with his father, but Will Ferrell's brother, his little brother, and his relationship with his father. And it also is just a sweet, warm holiday movie that has all the trappings of Christmas that include a love story, Santa Claus, the elves, and everything that goes along with that. Watching the making of this was just a joy. Seeing the behind the scenes of it, understanding how it was conceived and how it made its way from conception to screen, how Jon Favreau got involved, and the process through which Jon Favreau kind of operated creatively, and the inspiration that they got from the Rankin Bass material. And as most of you probably know, I'm a Rankin Bass fan. I recently ranked the Rankin Bass universe, Christmas universe. Just the idea that they took so much from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the other Rankin Bass material, and that it almost killed the movie after the movie was filmed. That was fascinating to me. The risk that it was in casting Will Ferrell. The whole episode was just a lot of fun, educational, told me stuff about the movie I had no idea about. Skip to episode 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one was a little different. Number one, I don't have the love for Nightmare Before Christmas that I have for Elf. I like it, it's just, I don't have the same, it doesn't give me the same warm feels. And that's one of the things that I need from a Christmas movie. And I'm also not crazy about Tim Burton like a lot of people are. I think he's gifted. I think he has a unique eye. And I think he's a good storyteller. It just doesn't speak to me like it does to a lot of people. Even when I think about like Edward Scissorhands, when I think about like Big Fish, when I think about his films, Beetlejuice even. These are all films that I've seen, and they're all films that to some degree I like, but they're not films that I revisit and revisit and revisit and revisit. Not even Beetlejuice. Because the style that Tim Burton has just doesn't resonate with me. I'm not putting it down. I'm not saying it's a bad style. Clearly it resonates with a lot of people. It just doesn't resonate with me personally. And remember, film is art, art is subjective. And what Tim Burton does not always work for me. The Batman films tend to, but that probably has more to do with my love for the character than it has to do with Tim Burton's style. Now that style, that Tim Burton style, is on full effect in Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, it was interesting to see the labor of love that was The Nightmare Before Christmas. working for 20 plus hours to get a minute of screen time. Clearly, these people loved this character, these stories, and they love going through the process. It just wasn't stuff that I mostly didn't already know about it. You know, Nightmare Before Christmas was one of those movies that have been talked about and talked about and talked about. And I just feel like most of what they've said I already knew. Now, I did get the sense during this episode that Tim Burton may not be the nicest person in the world. I didn't know that, but I also wasn't surprised. So that kind of made the episode less fun, because I always had this vision in my head that Tim Burton is just this weird, quirky, fun individual who's just trying to tell unique stories, and everybody loves him because of his weird, quirky, unique ideas. I didn't get that sense. So like I said, that kind of put a bit of a damper in it. But this was, as a whole, a really fun half season. It's kind of like an experimental Movies That Made Us season. Is this something we want to do more of? Holiday movies that made us. There's a lot of ground they can still cover. And I'm actually going to do a video where I give the 4 movies that I think they should cover next Christmas. Yes, I think they should do a full season of this next Christmas and include 4 movies. So I liked it. It was fun. I really liked the elf stuff. The Nightmare Before Christmas stuff was okay. But as a whole, I'm glad they did this, and I want to see more of it. That being said, what did you think of the holiday movies that made us? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the OQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.